Good evening, football fans, and welcome to another Monday night show. It's the ILFL Soccer Night Show with me, David Joseph. I'm back, and it's an evening of cup draws tonight. We've just heard and seen the national one, and if your team is still in it, you're looking forward to it, and if they're not, hard luck. We've got more cup draws for you this evening. They're going to be taking part in the second part of the show. The League Cup sponsored by Tower Hamlets Homes and that all-important ILFL Champions Cup draw. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to start the show with some video highlights. And it's video highlights down in the second division. And it's Tower Hamlets B versus St Catharines. St Catharines, who have had a very tough season all the way through, but they're looking up and forward as they take on Tower Hamlets B, who are sitting mid-table. Is it going to be the same as it always is, or do St Catharines have an upset in store for Tower Hamlets? We've got the footage for you right now to show from yesterday's game. St Catharines versus Tower Hamlets B. go. It was a scrappy game on a messy pitch, but two teams tried to play football and it was close for a long while, but then in the end, 6-2 was the result. Tower Hamlets B put in another nail in the St Catherine's under-21 coffin and they went down to yet another defeat. But if I can turn to you, Nanu, it was the first time I've seen them, and based on the evidence, it looked a lot closer. It did.
Nothing like what happened in the previous round. You know, the St. Catherine's under-21 team conceded double digits, and this time round the scoreline is completely different. The possession was there. We had the right people in the right places. We had the right mentality. We had one or two people, you know, giving it the best. But as a team, we weren't clinical enough, like Tower Hamlets B. They had some like really good, outstanding players. They were really tall, athletic, and very pacey as well. And our defenders just couldn't keep up with them. So I think that's where the actual difference was our back against a very formidable Tower Hamlets attacking force. So had it been any different than that, and I think the results would have been completely different. But like I said in the previous couple of shows, you know, there's a few targets, and we just hope that, you know, the arrows hit the targets.
I think there was also another key difference is the fact that it was clear to see that Tower Hamlets B played as a team, and St Catherine's under-21 played as a bunch of individuals.
They did. I mean, there's a lot of individual brilliance, as you can see. I mean, some of those players are like really, really good, but the thing is, they haven't got that experience, and they need the experience. This is the first season, so let's see what happens. Usually, by now, they should have learned, but they haven't. You know, I mean, it's a long learning curve. So maybe a couple more games, maybe right at the end of the season, we might see some, you know, fruits. But
might be some flashes of brilliance.
For now, we just have to, you know, just go along with it.
Down they went again, the St Catherine's under-21 by 6 goals to 2. And here are the rest of the results from yesterday's second division games. We can see that another big score happening at the top there. Al Mizan went down by 10 goals to 2 against Robin Hood. Robin Hood looking to stamp their authority on that second division title. But they've got Beaumont Youth right behind them, who just managed a solitary goal against Redcoat. And down at the bottom there, the West End reserve team backing up what their A team can do by smashing 7 goals past Riverside. Rash, the youth side, it's all come back to earth a little bit now after the cup heroics and everything. Is what's going on here? Are they running away with themselves with the cup and forgetting about the league?
No, I think it was a very tough game because Redcoats, being third, knew they had to win to maintain the challenge for the championship, and Beaumont Youth, really good attacking wise, but on that day they had to grind. It was a tough match, second v third. It was, I think you can see by the results, those 3 teams are the top teams, and it was a very tough game. Both teams didn't want to lose, and eventually Beaumont Youth just grinding out the results. So you get one of these games, 3 points in the bag. That's the main point.
If we look at the fixtures for next week in the second division, there are games here, some key games, I think. Tower Hamlets B move on to play Robin Hood Tigers, and Riverside are up against Beaumont. Riverside got a surprise result against Redcoat a couple of weeks ago, I think that was. That's a potential banana skin for Beaumont. You've got to stay on track here.
With both teams, Hamlets B, as we saw, and Riverside, those 2 teams, on the day, they can actually get results. So we can't underestimate those 2 teams. It's just on the day who performs. But yes, there'll be the underdogs, but anything can happen, as we know in the league.
The second division table looks just like this. The Tigers still sitting on top, 25 points from 10 games, with Beaumont Youth right behind them on 23. Redcoat waiting for anyone to slip up, but it looks like it's beginning to slip away from them, and they can only become banana skins for the teams above them in the second division. Let's move on to the first division and have a look at what happened there. The first division results from yesterday look like this. SCTA still looking like a team that should be playing in the Premier Division. They smashed 8 past Bow. St Catherine's went down by 1 goal to Stepney B, who, as we know, on their day can be quite impressive and eke out the result. And a 9-goal thriller between Weavers and Reach Out. Reach Out winning it by 5 goals to 4 to maintain their push at the top. And we'll have a look at their table, which now looks like this as well. SCTA still with a game in hand over Reach Out and a point ahead. And Bow, just like in the second division, sitting back and waiting for anybody to slip up so they can possibly sneak into one of those positions. Let's start. I'll go again with you, Rush. Is it all done? Is it all a little bit of formality now? We're down to the last maybe 4 or 5 games now in this division. SCTA and Reach Out.
I think those two definitely. SCTA look very dangerous, monstrous. They were ruthless on Sunday. They ripped apart Bow within the first 15 minutes, and Bow had no idea how to deal with them. Reach Out, on the other hand, looked a bit nervous, a bit under pressure. They actually scored the winning goal in the last second. And we was actually 3-0 up in the first half. So it shows that Reach Out, yes, they grinding out results, but they seem to be under pressure recently. Even had a bit of a disciplinary issue, which I've never seen before in the season. So Reach Out just... Like a bit of nerves, isn't it? I think other teams are starting to challenge Reach Out, whereas before they kind of feared, and now other teams are trying to, but still Reach Out showing their superiority, and obviously getting the 3 points was the last kick of the game, literally in the last second. Good performance from Weavers, I have to say, from you, because you went down 3-0 in the cup game against Reach Out. Lie down and let them do it to you, but now that was a good performance, so well done to you on that impressive result. In the Premier Division, there were 3 games, and again, high scores again. Bromley put 11 goals past Ireland. It looks like good night and sayonara for them for this season. Leytonstone, they put a goal past the Tigers, but London Tigers doing what they do. Is it going to be legendary Tigers, where they leave it till late, and now they leave their impressive form to right at the end of the season? And Stepney went down by 5 goals to 4 against Beaumont. Another 9-goal thriller. Quick word from you again, Rash. I might as well come to you on that one. Well, what happened? Stepney's, that's the first defeat, and I think Beaumont deserved the win because they were 4-1 up in the last 5 minutes. The scoreline suggests it was close, but the game was not that close. Beaumont had it in control right from the first half, 3-0 up. They were 4-1 up in the last 5 minutes, and obviously they came back and left a bit late for the fight back. I think I'm a bit surprised. As you said, after Christmas, some teams can obviously push momentum, some teams. That's the 3rd defeat. Last 2 weeks, 2 cups are out, now the first defeat in the Premiership, so it's not looking too good for Stepney, unfortunately. It's not indeed, and that just puts a dent in their title hopes. If we look at the Premier Division table now, Tigers are where they want to be. They are champions, and they're sitting in the champions position. First, 9 games, 23 points, with Stepney 3 points behind them, all to play for, and there's a big game to come in a couple of weeks' time between those 2 teams. Beaumont are 3rd, and that's an interesting position for them because they can capitalise on anything that goes wrong above them. But look at West End, only 7 games, 17 points. They're the team with games in hand and looking very ominous at the moment. I should just say right now at this time as well, West End didn't take part in any Premier Division fixtures yesterday. That's because they're still involved in a London Cup trophy. They managed to get themselves through to the quarterfinals, I think it is, of the London Cup. No, through to the semi-finals of the London Cup trophy. But there are some good teams in that. But well done to you, West End. You are one of those good teams. Good luck to you in the next round, which takes place on the 22nd of February. Yes. That is the Premier, 1st and 2nd Division all rounded up in a nutshell. We did well there, but we've got it all to come. We've still got to talk to Shaquille and Jim, who are here to oversee what is going to happen in the 2nd segment of the show, which is the Cup draws, the League Cup sponsored by Tower Hamlets Home, and we have the ILFL Champions Cup, which is looking a little bit tasty. Can't wait to see who's playing who in the next round. That's coming up and a lot more in the next section of the ILFL Soccer Night Show. We'll be back after this break.
আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL Soccer Night।